So I want to talk about embracing the unknown, because I work with many clients right now, and often what their fears are, or one of the fears, is that they're often in a crisis point. So they're in the unknown and they're in fear of the unknown. They don't trust where this is leading. They don't trust themselves because they've become very disconnected from the self. And I understand that, because this reality that we are in has been infiltrated with many mind control programs to make us disconnect from the self. And it is the self that is our power. I used to, when I was actually seeking from a spiritual perspective in my early 20s, I'd often come across self-realization, and I'd hear this spoken about, that people that were on their spiritual journey were on a path of self-realization, and I really did not understand what that meant. But I have since discovered the self, and now I do understand what it means. It means to come back to the soul self, to reconnect back to God source consciousness, back to prime creator, back to the intelligent source energy that we are all a part of. And we can only do that when we start to go inwards to discover the self. And as we connect to the self, we are going into the unknown. But in that unknown is where all the growth happens. In that unknown is where we align with our soul. And when we align with our soul, which is wise, which has so much wisdom, which has all of the knowledge that we can tap into as we align with the soul, then we are catapulted onto our destined path, onto our highest timeline. And everything changes. Reality shifts. We start to communicate with the universe. We start to be led by our light. We start to become absorbed in a world of synchronicity. So often, what is the fear of unknown? It's the fear of a loss of control, because we have been conditioned to believe that control equals safety, but it's the opposite. As you will find with nearly everything we have been taught in this reality, this is an inverted reality. It is a false matrix. It is a copy of the organic God source matrix, and everything has been inverted. Everything has been turned upside down. So control does not equal safety. It is an illusion of safety. But as we try and control, as we try and hold on to that which is not of our highest good, we do not create safety for ourselves, we create suffering. We keep ourselves in fear, and we keep ourselves small, and we keep ourselves in the misery programs that have also been inserted into the collective consciousness. Think about being a child. When you are a child, you do not fear the unknown. You see the unknown as being magical. It's an adventure. You are exploring the unknown every single second in your imagination, in all the new things that you encounter, walking, talking, eating, creating, playing. Everything is unknown, and you are curious, and it's fun, and that gets conditioned out of us, and we get conditioned into this illusion of safety. We get conditioned to believe that the world is a dangerous place and that humanity are dangerous beings, but that is not the truth. Yes, there are some dark, evil forces, but they are the minority. That is not the majority of human life. And the world is a loving place, and it is abundant, and it is in the unknown that we grow and we expand as souls, and that's what we came here to do. We are eternal beings. Think about that. You're eternal. You live forever. There is no start, there is no end, but yet we become so limited in our thinking because of all these subconscious programs that we end up putting ourselves in our own self-made prison. So it's time to wake up and embrace the unknown, because in the unknown, life becomes sweeter and more magical. And the truth is that we don't really have the control that we have deluded ourselves to believe that we have, if we are on the wrong path, if we are not fulfilling our mission, because we all have a mission in this incarnation. We all have a part to play in the whole. We all contribute to the collective, to the reality, to the timelines that we jump onto as humanity. And right now we are in the ascension timeline, and we all have a role to play in that timeline. So if we are not on the right path, then it's very possible that the higher part of you, the higher self that knows which is the right path for you, knows what you came in here to do, can shunt you onto that right path. Perhaps you are in a job, in a relationship, and you have been getting messages for a long time that it's time to move out of it, that you are no longer growing, you are beginning to constrict. But perhaps you are ignoring those signs, those intuitive guidances, because you are afraid. And I do understand that lots of this reality is created to keep us in fear, to keep us scared of other people's judgments. So people will live a life for somebody else rather than a life for them. But what happens often, if you've got a agreement with your higher self, it will come in and it will take that relationship away from you. It will take that job away from you, and you will be shunted onto the right path, because the truth is we don't have the control that we believe that we have, because there are higher parts of us, our soul, which is wise, which is ancient, that already knows the path that we came here to lead, and it wants to do everything it can to get us onto that path. Our soul will never give up on us. It's the lower aspect of ourselves that's got absorbed in the movie. Watch this video, I'll link a video at the end called Who I Am, that'll explain that a little bit more. But we've got so absorbed in the movie that we forgot the true self. So in the unknown, we start to discover the true self. We start to realize that that's where growth happens, that's where we expand and grow, and that is our safety. Our safety is allowing ourselves to trust the self, to trust the universe, to trust that if something is taken from us, even if it feels painful in the moment, that it is for our highest good. That there are reasons perhaps we don't understand right now, or perhaps we do, but we've been in resistance to it, that we need to move on to another path, and we can start having faith and trust that the higher aspect of ourselves knows that path that we need to be on and is trying to help and guide us. We can stop resisting, we can embrace it. So often as we are going through these changes, or we are looking at our life, and if we are feeling stuck but we are hearing a guidance, then we need to use courage. We need to use our courage to move and take a leap into the unknown, and know that if the message is coming from the heart and you are truly aligning with the heart rather than the fear of the mind, that you will be moved onto the right path, and things will unfold as they were intended to unfold, and you will move into a higher timeline. So one way that you can really embrace the unknown is by, so rather we always try to get in our brain, needing to plan everything, know everything, worry about everything, but rather than do that, if we surrender and just follow what feels good, instead of focusing on fears of the future or how you're going to get to a certain place, focus on what brings you joy, what makes you feel passion. And if you don't know what those things are, then great. You've got an amazing adventure ahead of you. In fact, we're always unfolding into those things, and we need to start exploring. We need to start going back to that childlike mindset of curiosity, of exploration, of exploring what feels good and following what feels good, because what feels good lifts up our vibration. And as our vibration is lifted up, then we are really connected into our higher self and guidance, and we will be led through synchronicity into the unknown, but we will know that we are being led, and we will feel supported, reassured and comforted by that communication that starts to unfold and become known from the universe. Also, one thing that we can do to align with that higher path, to embrace the unknown, is, as well as focusing on what feels good, is actually focusing on looking after your beautiful body, the divine technology that we have been gifted, that you have chosen to use in this life to express your unique energy. So we can look at how can we bring more health, more balance into the body. And I'll link another video about getting back to the basics, because to get the vessel, the body, the divine supreme technology at its most optimal state, it is really simple, basic steps that we need to take. But often we do not take those steps. We are doing the opposite of what brings vitality to the body, because the truth is the body and the subconscious, the superconscious, the highest self has the ability to heal all illnesses if we get it into alignment, if we give it those things that it needs to flourish. Just think of a plant. If you deny a plant enough water, enough pure water, if you deny it fertile soil, if you deny it good energy, if you criticize a plant, it will start to wither. And that's the same for you. If you are not getting good food, good rest, good nutrition, you are not speaking to yourself in a nurturing, in a kind way, it will wither the body. And if the body withers, then you cannot be your best self. You cannot be in flow with the universe. So these simple things that us as the physical incarnation can do. But as we do that, we open up to the guidance of the higher self, the unknown aspect of self, which can then help us surrender into the unknown. Because the truth is, when we try to control things through that limited perspective, we are resisting what the universe is waiting to bring in to our field. So let's start embracing the unknown, taking some small steps to start coming back to the self, to start giving ourselves space and time to hear what is the heart guiding you to do, and to start using courage and taking leaps of faith to move on that which the heart is calling you to. Thank you.